Dear students and viewers, in the category of videos on social science, today I am going to start the chapters of ninth standard. And in the ninth standard, when we come to the history part, the first chapter in history is Christianity and Islam. This Christianity and Islam are the two major religions of the world, and they are playing very important role in the life of human beings. And here in this chapter we are going to know few important concepts. First is origin of Christianity and Islam, and the principles and teachings of these two important religions, Christianity and Islam, and the contributions of these two religions to the world. And the fourth concept will be the different parts and sects which are groups developed in these two religions. These are the concepts what we are going to know in this chapter. First of all, if we try to know about the religion, religion is what? Religion is a faith. Every person in the world is associated with one or another religion. They are following one or another religion. Religion is a faith in unseen things or faith in God, and many aspects you know about that one. And here, if we want to know about these two important religions, if we go to the history of religions, the religions were originated and developed in various stages of the world history. If we take into consideration in the ancient times, the religions which were developed, they are considered as the religions which developed in the BCE, means before Common Era. Which are the important religions which developed in the before Common Era? Those are the Hinduism, then Jainism, and Buddhism, and Judaism are the various religions which developed in the before Common Era. And the religions what we are going to know in this chapter, Christianity and Islam, these religions were developed and originated in the CE, that is the Common Era. These two religions were developed in the Common Era, that is the Christianity and Islam are the religions which were developed in the Common Era. Recent developments. Okay. These two religions were developed, and they are having much influence in the life of the man, and these religions are also considered as the Semitic religions. They are called as Semitic religions. And what is this Semitic? Semitic means the religions which are associated with certain important languages. Which are those languages? Those are that is Hebrew, Arabic, Aramaic are the languages, and these languages, these religions are associated, and that's why basically they are developed in the Asia and Central Asian countries, and those having the link with these languages. And these people used to speak these languages, and because of that reason they are called as Semitic religions. Okay, it is about the background of religions. Let us try to know about these two important religions in some brief manner. First, let us try to know about the Christianity. How, where, when this religion was started and originated, and who are the responsible persons for this one. Here, this Christianity was started and developed or originated in the place called Nazareth province. That was developed in the Nazareth province, and that is in Palestine area. This Nazareth province, and in that area this religion was developed. And what was the period and that period is called as the period of Roman Empire. At that time, Roman Empire was very that is a flourishing empire, a very powerful empire, and during that time, this Christianity was developed in the world history. Okay, that is the time of Roman Empire, and the Roman Empire is at its glory and its zenith. Okay, here during that time the Jews were facing lot of atrocities. They were considered as, that is Jews were treated as slaves, and they were facing various problems. They were facing various problems in the Roman Empire. Roman emperors or the administrators were exploiting, as well as Jews were totally neglected in their empire. It was the condition, and in such a condition, these Jews were waiting for a person who will come, and that is that person will liberate from the clutches of this Roman Empire and free the Jews. At that time, they were waiting for that person, and in the meantime, this person was born, and here that is responsible for the founding of this religion, and the name of that person is Jesus Christ. Okay, let us try to know about the early life of Jesus Christ. Life of Jesus. There are different opinions about the life of the Jesus. There is no much information about his early life, about his childhood. Then also, according to some informations, the person Jesus, according to two groups of Christianity, one group considered Jesus as the child of only a mother called Mary, and another group argues that this Jesus had a father as well as even a mother. And according to them, Mary is the mother of Jesus, and Joseph is considered as the father of this Jesus. They are the parents of Jesus. Who are those? Mary and Joseph. And this person was born in a place called birthplace. The birthplace of Jesus is Bethlehem. It is Bethlehem, and this Bethlehem is near to Jerusalem. And this is in the present Israel as well as Palestine area, and Bethlehem and Jerusalem is considered as, Bethlehem is the name of the place, and it is near Jerusalem, and there this person was born. And after the about his childhood is concerned, he never got a proper and that is a particular regular education. He had no any kind of proper education. Then also in the later life he got more knowledge of religion. Then afterwards he got the knowledge of religion, and even he began to interpret the Jews' books in a simple language, because in those days the Jews had a different kind of domination upon the people, and they never spread the messages of their holy books to the common people. But what the Jesus done, he interpreted the Jewish book or the books of Jews. Interpreted Jews book in simple language, which could be understood by the common people. The common people can come to know what is in the books which are considered as sacred scriptures by the Jews, or those books which were revealed by the God upon the various prophets, and this was interpreted by the Jews, that is interpreted by the Jesus, which are the books of Jews. And by this one, now here this Jesus became very popular. popular in the eyes of the common people, and the principles of this person became very popular, and he went on preaching the concepts of these books. And next, very important development which took place in the life of Jesus. What was that? He met one of a person, and by name the John Baptist. He met John Baptist, and with the association of this John Baptist, he was baptized. Baptized means he got more knowledge about from this person, and the life of Jesus was totally went on changing. He enlightened, and after getting more information and more knowledge from this person, he enlightened the people who are in distress, helping the people, or enlightening the people who are in helping the distressed people, and showing kindness towards the humanity, kindness towards to humanity, and treated the poor people in a good manner, and even is responsible for various kind of reforms in the society, and he helped the various deceased people, and by this reason, that is the reasons he got very popularity. He got popularity, and he was known as what? He was known as Messiah, or Isa, or Jesus Messiah, and Messiah, and the meaning of this one is Savior or Protector. And by this one, he became very popular. He became very popular in the various sections of society, particularly in the poor people and in the needy people. He became very popular because of showing kindness towards the poor and needy people. And gradually, he was considered as a godly man. He was considered as a godly man because of his various characters. He became very popular and considered as a godly man. And when this popularity of Jesus Christ was increasing, at that time, another side, the Jews became very arch enemies of this Jesus, and enmity started by the Jews priest. He earned the enmity of Jews, particularly the priest started enmity, because here the popularity of Jesus was not digested, was not tolerated by the Jews, and that's why they began to develop enmity, and even instigating the rulers of that time to even kill or even imprison the Jesus. And in this manner, here they went to the Roman Empire and Roman Emperor, particularly the Roman governor, and to him they told that this Jesus is responsible for the new religion, and he is blaming the old religion and Roman religion also. And in this manner, they filled the ears of the Roman governor, and by name that is Pontius Pilate. And this person ordered for the imprisonment of Jesus. Jesus was imprisoned, and after imprisoning this person, the trial was conducted, the court was conducted, and ultimately Jesus was considered as a treason. He was considered as treason, and he is considered as a traitor. And in that case, he was sentenced to hang. And after that, he was taken to the one of a hill called Golgotha. Taken to Golgotha, hills. And upon those hills, and on a particular day he was crucified, and he was crucified on Friday. On Friday, Jesus was crucified. Jesus crucified. And because of this crucifixion of Jesus on the Friday, that day is celebrated by the Christians as a Good Friday. That is every year. You also witness the Good Friday is observed by the Christians and in the memory of crucifixion of Jesus on the Golgotha hill, and because he was sentenced to hang because of he considered as a treason by the Roman, that is governor, and it was the enmity which was made by the Jews priests, because of the popularity of Jesus was not tolerated and digested by the Jews. It is about the early life of Jesus Christ. Okay, if you got about these important points, let us now try to know about the teachings of Christianity or teachings of Jesus Christ. Okay, let us try to know about the teachings of Jesus. What are the important teachings? He taught the teaching of the humanity as well as a simple, that is a life in the people, and he laid a foundation for the peace and compassion. Foundation for peaceful life and compassion towards all creatures. The human being should have compassion towards one another and live and let live. It was the one of important teaching, and now I will tell you about the various important teachings. Among them, one is what is the first teaching of Jesus and the Christianity. The first one is God is one. God is one, creator of all creation. He is God is one. There is no any another God. God is alone, and He is the creator of all creation. What you are seeing in front of your eyes, what you know, what you didn't know, all those things are created by the one God, and there is no any association of another in His creation. It was the first important teaching of the Christianity. God is one, and He is the creator of all creation. God is the creator of the sun. God is the creator of the moon, the earth, and all the universe. The whole universe is the creating or the creation of the God only. It was the first and very important teaching of this Christianity. Next is everyone should develop the concept of the habit of brotherhood. Everyone develop brotherhood. Means we are all the sons of, we are all the children of one person, and that is the Adam. As we are originated, we came from one father, that is the Adam, means we are all brothers. Irrespective of our color, irrespective of our race, irrespective of our language, irrespective of any other criteria, we are all brothers. It is another very important teaching of Jesus or Christianity. Next is loving the people. Loving people. We should love the people and who are in distress. Who are in distress. Those who are in need of help, those who are facing any kind of problems. We have to love the people who are in distress, who are in a very needy condition, those who are suffering from any kind of disease or any kind of economically backwardness, and we have to help them. It was the loving people who are in distress. And then one should serve others. Next is one should serve others without expecting anything from them, without expecting anything from them. Means if you are helping one person, you should not keep in mind, I am helping him, he should help me. I am giving him, in return he should give me something. Like that, you should not expect anything. Irrespective of expectation, you have to help the people, and one should serve the others. One should help in whatever manner you are helping. That help you are giving without expecting any return from him. We have to, that is a help in that manner. It is another important teaching of the Christianity. And next is serving to people is equal to the worship to God. Serving people. Serving people equal to worship God. Or what you are, that is performing prayers. What you are doing, any kind of prayers in the religious place, in the church or wherever that may be, that is more than that. That is serving the people. Service to the people is very important. First, you have to serve the people, because the people are in need of your help. The God is not in need of your help. He never require any kind of help from you, because He is going to give help to you. Everything is given by God to you, and the God never want anything from you. But what you have to do in order to convince the God means you have to have compassion towards the creation of the God. The creatures of the God, that may be the human being, or that may be the plant, or that may be the animal, you have to, that is protect them, you have to serve them, and serving the people is equal to the worship to God. It is also one of the important teaching. And if one repents for his mistakes, God will forgive him. It is also very important thing. That is if one repents for his mistakes, God will forgive. God will forgive. Means the man is subject to different kind of mistakes, because he is not an angel. He is not an angel. And in the nature of the man itself, there is a one concept. He is subject to make or commit mistakes. And because it is by nature, he make sometimes mistakes also. But if you make mistake means you should not continue. Because if you are having a chance of repentation, you can go to that is and plead the God. Oh God, this thing happened with me. This mistake happened with me. Please forgive me. And the God will forgive you, because He is merciful. He is having mercy towards the human beings, and He will definitely forgive you if you have, that is, committed any mistake. Don't do again and again. If any mistake happens, even don't get worry of that one, because if you repent for that one, the God will forgive you. It is also one of the important teaching. And here, that is love your enemy. It is a very special thing here for our new society. Love your enemy and do good. Do good for those who do bad for you. Who do bad for you, or who harm you. Who harm you. Those who make any kind of harm to you, or any kind of injury to you, that may be physically or mentally, you have to, that is, forgive them. Do good to them, and love your enemy. By loving your enemy or having good attitude towards your enemy, you can melt the heart of the enemy, and you can get him from on your side, as well as that will be finish or that will end the enmity between one and another. If you also develop the enmity with your enemy, that will continue, and that will spoil your heart, and that will spoil your mind and your life also. It is also one of the important teaching. Love your enemy, do good for those who do harm to you, who make any kind of harm to you. These are the important teachings of Christianity. I think you got an idea regarding the teachings of this religion. That is the teaching of only one God. He is the creator of all creation, developing the concept of brotherhood. As we are all the children of one God, we have to develop the concept of brotherhood, and even that is having a respect towards one another, as well as even serving the people. Service to the people is service to the God. More than worship, you have to serve the people. That is also very important thing. And one should serve the people without expecting anything from them. It is also, and even if one repents for his mistakes, God will definitely forgive you, as well as love your enemy, do good for the people who harm you. These are the important teachings. The next concept of this Christianity is the spread of Christianity. The spread of Christianity. As in the present world, Christianity is having the largest followers. How this Christianity was spread, and who are responsible for that one, which is responsible for their Christianity as a major religion of the world. Okay, during the time of Jesus, this religion was not much spread. It was spread in very few parts, and while the Jesus was crucified, or when his life was ended in any manner that may be, and during that time he spread the religion in very few parts, and while going from this world, he taught his disciples to spread the teachings, and those disciples were in 12 in numbers, and those are called as apostles. Okay, they are called as apostles. Who are apostles? The disciples of Jesus Christ is called as apostles. And what were they in number? They were 12 in number. And among them, they took the responsibility. These disciples took the responsibility to spread take the teachings of the Jesus to the other various parts of the world, or other various people here. In this manner, they are responsible. Among those apostles, one of a major or one of an important person was Peter. Saint Peter is responsible for the establishment of this Christianity in the various parts of the country, that is the European countries and Asian countries. And this person is went to Rome. In Rome, he established a church. Saint Peter established a church in Rome, and Christianity became very popular. And later, this Rome became the center of Christianity. Rome became the center of Christianity and Christian activities, and Rome also a very important place of Catholic religion. Catholic religion, one of important sect. Later you come to know what is this Catholic, and this Catholic church is very important in Rome. And next here the teachings of Christianity or the Jesus were in the form of gospels. In the teachings were called as gospels, and those were taken by the apostles to the various parts of the world, and this was also taken to the Asia Minor, European countries and other parts of the world, and later this religion became very popular. But that is in the beginning. In the beginning, Romans were not taking any kind of risk regarding the spread of Christianity. But in the other part, in the later century, the Romans became the enemies of Christianity, and they were putting restrictions upon the apostles and restrictions upon the missionaries to spread the religion. But one of important event took place in that time, and that is also responsible for the spread of this Christianity, and that is the Roman Emperor Constantine. Very important. The name of this person or emperor, Constantine. This Constantine accepted Christianity. When this person accepted Christianity in 313 CE, Common Era. In 313 Common Era, when this emperor Constantine accepted Christianity, and he took more responsibility to spread this Christianity in the Roman Empire as well as other parts of the world, and he declared Christianity as state religion. State religion. Which one as a state religion? Christianity as a state religion. And now this religion became very popular, and with the effort of this person, this religion is spread in the other parts of the world. And then the teachings of Islam, the teachings of Christianity were written in a particular book, and that book is called as Bible. Holy Book of Christians. Holy Book of Christians is called as Bible, and Bible is a book which is having all the teachings of this Christianity. And the place of worship of these Christian is called as a church. You may observe different church in your surroundings, and that is the religious place and worshipping place of the Jews. Okay, this is about the spread of Christianity. After knowing about the spread of Christianity, let us try to know about what are the important contributions of this Christianity. Contributions. Okay. In the beginning of the chapter itself, I told you, after knowing every religion of its origin, its development, its teachings, and even we have to know about its contributions also. What Christianity contributed to the humanity, contributions of Christianity. Okay, Christianity contributed many things to the world, and thus one, Christianity taught the noble principles of peace and brotherhood. Principles of peace and brotherhood. As all the human beings are the children of one Father, that's why they are brothers, and there is no need to fight each other. They have to live in a peaceful manner. It is the first teaching or first contribution of Christianity to the world. And these people, the Christian missionaries, established educational institutions. Christian missionaries are responsible for the spread of education in the various parts of the world to the even the poor section of the people. They here educational institution is established, because you may have observed, you may have seen every church is in nearby to church you can find a school, a college or a university, and it is one of the method which was adopted by the Christians in order to spread the Christianity also with the help of education institutions. Every church is having the education institution also, and even they also develop the health concept, that is establish hospitals, because the poor people who are in any kind of diseases, they cannot get any medicine also, treatment also. To helping those people also, they establish or constructed hospitals also, and even it is also another important contribution. And in the architecture, Gothic architecture, very important, you have to remember Gothic art or architecture. Gothic architecture. This Gothic architecture, a different style of buildings are having different kind of structure in their churches as well as even in their institutions. The Gothic architecture was developed during the time of this Christianity. It is also there. Then already told you the establishment of hospitals for health services. It is also, and even the women and weaker sections, women and weaker section were also targeted, were also got much benefit from the Christian missionaries. Women's and weaker section, they also got many facilities from the Christian missionaries and Christianity. Okay, here these are the various contributions what you can find, what you can see which were done by the Christianity and Christians or Christian missionaries to the people. Okay, it is about the contribution, and the last concept in this chapter is sects in Christianity. In the beginning itself, I told you we are going to know about the origin, the principles, and the contributions and teachings, as well as even the groups which were developed in the Christianity, and that is called as sects in Christianity. Sects in Christianity. In the beginning, Christianity gave much importance for the poor people, needy people, but in later stages, when this religion went on spreading, the people who have power, the people who have wealth, the people who have political power, they began to influence the religion also. They began to influence the religion, and they went on making the use of religion for their benefit. That is the use of religion for their benefits. The lords or the kings and even the rich people making the benefit of the religion, and by this one the religious purity and what sacredness of the religion was earlier, that went on losing. Because of that reason, the churches became very dominant. Church became dominant, and priests became worldly people. Means the taste and the world came in the life of the priest. Their piousness, their purity, their sacredness went away. They lost their sacredness, and the church was targeted, and church became the place of various kind of social problems as well as vulgarity. And because of that reason, here the Christian, many Christian people were not satisfied. They were not happy with the attitude of priest, the attitude of some lords. And in that time, one of important person came to reform the Christianity, and the name of that person is Martin Luther. Martin Luther. This Martin Luther tried to reform the religion, reform the Christianity, and he is responsible. He protested against the domination of church. He protested against the domination of priests. And because of that reason, the group of the Martin Luther is called as Protestants. They are called as Protestants, and it is the one of important sect of Christianity. Sect of Christianity is called as a Protestant, and the Orthodox, they are the first group of the Christianity. They are called as Catholics. They are called as Catholics, or they are also called as Roman Catholics. And second group is a Protestant. These are the two important sects of Christianity. One is called as Catholics, Roman Catholics and Protestants. Okay, it is about this one, and this religion became very popular in the various countries of the world, particularly the people who are responsible for the spread of this Christianity. They are the Europeans. The Europeans, as these Europeans established various colonies because of geographical explorations, and in these colonies they also spread the religion and Christianity, spread of Christianity in those colonies. For example, even our India was a colony of the Europeans. Even many African countries were the colonies of Christians and Europeans, and various most of the part of the world were under the domination of the Europeans, and they made the world as their colony, and that was also used for the spread of Christianity. And because of all these reasons, now Christianity is one of the important and major religion of the world. Okay, till this one I tried to explain some of the important concepts of this Christianity from the beginning to the present conditions of the Christianity. I think if you are having any kind of doubt regarding this chapter, you may tell me in the comment section, as well as for further development of my YouTube channel, you have to subscribe, you have to share, and you have to like this video. And in the next part of this chapter, I will try to tell you about the Islam. Okay, thank you.